Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list updates. Today's date is Monday, January 29th, 2024. So this will have covered the week of January the 22nd through the 28th of 2024. This was a slightly productive week overall in terms of trophies. I'm happy with the progress I made, worked on a couple of games. I didn't get to stream as much as I wanted because, as you can probably still hear in my voice, I'm still pretty nasally, getting over some kind of cold or something. It's on the tail end of it, so hopefully it'll be back to normal within the next few days because it's just been really annoying. But I will point out a couple of games where there was no trophy progress done that I just wanted to quickly point out. Fallout 76, of course, I'm still working with that friend on doing like an actual guide, like a really big in-depth guide for the game. But also that DLC is supposed to come out in March. I think I mentioned that before though. But hopefully we're getting another trophy DLC for it in March. Then there's this game which was free. Apparently it keeps getting updates and I have no idea why it keeps getting updates because I can't imagine for a little game like this that was a freebie, basically free trophies. So it makes me wonder if the game's ever going to end up getting like DLC, maybe like a paid DLC like some games out there do in a sort of scummy way. Along with updates, we also have Choo Choo Charles apparently just got an update. It didn't add any trophies in or anything, but it does make me wonder, if they updated it, are they going to eventually patch in Nightmare Mode, which is significantly harder than the original version of the game. And finally, we're already at the end of January, and Marvel's Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus has not released yet, so who knows when it's going to release, because I would like to have it released sooner rather than later so I could maybe just try to speed run through it while the game's familiar in my mind. But otherwise, I earned trophies in 2 different games this past week. This is probably going to be a pretty short update because there's not a whole lot to talk about. In fact, let's go ahead and start by talking about Word Search by Palgi. This is, of course, the game that I started on the previous week, and it's just a word search game. As with all Palgi games, it's an easy platinum trophy, but this one is significantly more time-consuming, taking more like 8 to 10 hours. I think I see how people could potentially say they did it faster. I think that to do that, though, you would have to basically solve all but one word in every puzzle or something, and, remember which ones you were doing certain trophies in. Because you get a trophy for solving your first puzzle and highlighting a word backwards, which you can knock both of those out at the same time. Then you have these last few trophies down at the bottom, so you'd have to basically go through and solve every word except for one in every puzzle, but for all of these other, at least 3 up here, for those you would have to solve specific puzzles in specific ways, and then just still save that last word for last. I think that's how you could potentially do it, because then you just have to jump into each category to get one more puzzle solved at the last second or something. So it's possible you could see super short times on PSN profiles, but it would require a lot of basically messing around and being very careful and playing it in a very unconventional way to make that happen. And then the last trophy you'd have to get would just be replaying a puzzle and beating your best time. So theoretically, you could get this platinum trophy, have it show up as under 30 minutes, and it should be legitimate. Well, it might be legitimate, I don't know. But anyway, this week I solved a pretty large number of puzzles. I finished all the puzzles, so the 12 puzzles in each category: Time to Eat, Bedtime Story, Getting Around, Musical Interlude, Stay in School, Career Day, Around the House, Got Your Number, On the Water, Adopt a Pet, Halloween, Names, Natural World, Quench Your Thirst, Around the World, Interesting Words, Get a Hobby, Christmas Time, and Human Body. So I solved 19 categories of puzzles, and I believe there's 27 total categories of puzzles, because we're on the last column and it looks like there's maybe 6 sets of puzzles left to do. So 6 times 12 is 72. So 72 total puzzles left. Getting pretty near the end of this. I will definitely have this game done this coming week. So it'll be nice to have this one done. I mean, it's easy to just pick up and play casually, slowly over time and all, which is kind of nice. But at the same time, it is a lot of work. There's a lot of answers you have to find in every puzzle. They can have anywhere from 15 to 25 words in them, so there's a lot you have to do with this game. Again, it's not difficult. You can always follow a guide. You can also just play it casually and just at least get a little more enjoyment out of it, but it is a pretty time-consuming platinum trophy. So now we got that game out of the way, the bigger game I've been working on this week is Dead Rising 2, and progress is actually going pretty well so far. So we reached 500 zombie kills in a single playthrough. All 4 of the zombies trophies, like you have to kill 72,000 zombies in a single playthrough, which is what makes this trophy quite challenging. The best way to do it is to start a new playthrough and then go make sure that you have the Hummer or the SUV, whatever it's called, the key for that purchase, which costs like $2 million in-game dollars. Purchase that and then drive circles around the whole Fortune Park area. You can also use the slice sickle, but I don't know if I'd recommend that because it's easier to get like knocked away from it. And you'd also have to go and grab a chainsaw every single time you left and reloaded the zombies. And when you're going for the 72,000, the best thing to do is to do all of the case files and give Katie her Zombrex. I would definitely recommend doing all of that because that greatly extends the amount of in-game time, and it's very much worth the time you have to put in to do those main quests. It extends the whole game by like an entire extra day almost, like 19 in-game hours. And then that's not even counting overtime, which I think extends it by like another 12 hours or something. So definitely recommend doing it that way. That's going to be the last probably full playthrough I do though, or one of the last full playthroughs I do, because we still got a lot of other stuff to do. So you got to defeat 10 psychopaths. I think you have to do it all in a single playthrough, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that one. But there are well over 10 psychos in the game. In fact, the redneck sniper guys that spawn on like day 2 or 3 out in the main strip area, they count as 4 different psychopaths. There's 4 of them. This one, I think you have to do in a single playthrough. Same with this one, but they're both very easy to do. They're both pretty simple. For the barehanded one, I think that there is like a magazine you can get that makes it easier. Then use every type of firearm on a zombie. There's only like 8 or 9 guns in the game, so this isn't too bad. There's the handgun, the shotgun, the sniper rifle, the mercenary rifle, the assault rifle, and then there is the BFG, the unique 6-shooter revolver, and maybe like, oh, the LMG. Can't forget about the LMG. So there's only like 8 guns. Some of them are missable, but this doesn't have to be done in a single playthrough, nor do these other ones. So thankfully, none of these have to be done in a single playthrough. You can do them over the course of plenty of playthroughs. So basically my goal is we're going to try to finish the first playthrough of the game, and after the first playthrough is done, I'll be pretty close to level 50, have all the story-related trophies out of the way. Next playthrough, I will probably still do some of the, like, case files and stuff at some point, but we're mostly going to be working on getting kills with every type of weapon, filling out the rest of the logbook, and a few other things that we'll get to in a second, because the logbook's going pretty well. I'm not missing too many. I've only missed a handful of missions because during the 3rd stream of the game, I managed to basically clutch something. Like, I managed to clutch getting a couple of specific survivors out. I managed to do the first part of Tape It or Die, which is very time sensitive, and I wasn't actually expecting to get it done on that playthrough. And the big $100,000 poker mission where you end up getting paid like $1 million when you win it and get 3 survivors. So I managed to knock out all of that like one after another pretty quickly, and I got through that poker mission in only 2 tries, which was surprising because the other poker mission made me the angriest I've been on a stream in a very long time at this point. Probably since like Far Cry 6's whatchamacallit 3-starring or top difficulty on those Spec Ops missions. So yeah, that was fun. If you want to hear any of that, go check out the stream. So I saved 50 total survivors. Again, I'm not sure if this has to be done in a single playthrough. It might have to be, but it's not particularly difficult because there's way more than 50. There's like 65 or something. You have to create all the combo weapons, so that's one that we're going to be working on the next playthrough, along with finding all of the combo cards. Reach level 25. I'm like a level 37 or so right now, so we'll see how close I can get to level 50. If I don't get it naturally, I can easily get it on a second playthrough. It's no problem. Change into all the different pieces of clothing in the game. I'm nowhere close on this, but again, this can be done over the course of multiple playthroughs. This is the main story. Mix all the drinks. I think there's only 9, so I could actually probably knock this out pretty quickly whenever I want, really. And then eat all the different foods in the game. I'm working on that one as well. There's like over 100 types of food, so there's lots and lots of stuff that we still got to do. Killing 1,000 special zombies. I may try to do this during my current playthrough when we get to that time, and I can kind of combine that with the 1,000 motorcycle slice sickle kills, because that's probably not a bad way to do it. So I think this has to be done in a single playthrough, but again, I'm not entirely sure about this one. Then the gift giving to Katie, this one does have to be done in a single playthrough, so you can't split this one up over the course of multiple. So you have to give Katie all like 9 different gifts in a single playthrough. There's several giant stuffed animals, like 5 of those. and there's like maybe 4 smaller items that you have to get. But you also have to get Snowflake, which is the tameable psychopath that you get at the very beginning of the game. So you have to bring that one home, and you have to get the funny painting from the art appreciation mission. That's the other one I looped back around to at the last second. And also the painting counts as a weapon, so you have to throw it instead of bouncing it over someone's head. So you just have to like throw it at a zombie diagonally, vertically, whatever the word is for it. So throw it at horizontally. I don't know what I was thinking with that. My brain's still a little bit stopped up. Then you got to complete overtime, which you need an extra thing of Zombrex to do that. Then, of course, we have the 2 co-op trophies, which is going to be probably like my 3rd playthrough or something. That probably won't be streamed or anything. I'll just get a little bit of footage of it, and of course the trophies unlocking. Then you have to get 6 million spent in Fortune City. That can be done over multiple playthroughs. Entering all the stores can be multiple playthroughs. This one you need to have a maxed out inventory pretty much to do, because you pretty much need all 12 in case someone knocks one off. So I'm not even at the max inventory yet. I think I only have like 9 spaces right now, so still a ways away. Spray painting the Zombrex posters, I'm not sure if this one has to be done all in one playthrough, but it's not too hard as long as you have a few cans of spray paint. But the big accomplishment of this week was knocking out the 3 true multiplayer trophies. And actually, we knocked them all out within about a 3-hour period in one night. So it actually wasn't as bad as expected. Now, I will say, the servers are very bad, and oftentimes it will put you in empty lobbies over and over and over again. If that happens, I recommend quitting out of the game and closing the app entirely, and then going back in. And then as for the events, they're somewhat random, but not as random as I thought. So the very first event you get is always one of 2 different things. It's either Ramster Ball or the one where you're using the Zambonis. So it's one of those 2, no matter what, is always your first game. Then your second and third games rotate randomly between the other 6 main games. So you can get any 2 of those 6. And then the very final round, the 4th round, is always Slice Cycles. And with all of that, since you can keep track of it a little more easily that way, you can know when you might have a chance of getting certain events, but it's still very annoying because it's still very RNG. And we actually didn't have a full boosting group for everything during this. Sometimes we only had 3 people and would find a random player, and just like the person who was going for the trophy or going for the wins would try to score, get the score up, while the rest of us, the other 2 of us, would just try to mess with the other person and stop them from interfering. And that actually worked overall. We met several other boosters just randomly along the way, so there's quite a few people that still boost this game. So if you just don't mind doing a little bit of boosting, you can knock all these out within a single night or maybe 2 nights. It's not actually all that bad. It does require 4 people, again, though, to even start the lobby. You also can't do it in private matches. Just wanted to go ahead and point that out. And I thought this one was bugged at first. It turns out that sometimes if you tie in a win, it doesn't count that as a win, because the game that I needed was one that I tied in. So I think one of the guides, maybe not all of them, but at least one of them says that you can tie and it still counts, but it definitely doesn't. Either that or it's actually bugged, but I think it just probably doesn't count. So just keep that in mind. You have to get an outright first place pretty much in each game. Then a couple other, or easy trophy there, all the combo cards stuff. We're getting probably fairly close on the survivors and the psychopaths. Probably didn't miss too many of them. Collect 25 combo cards, so that's half of them. There's 50 or 51 total. I think it's 50. And then all the entries in the notebook. I'm pretty close on this one. I'm probably like 75% of the way through. A lot of it is just unmissable stuff that you're going to encounter throughout the story. And you also don't have to save every single survivor or anything like that. As long as you encounter them, they enter into the notebook. The smash move, I think I might have that, but I think you have to do this in the course of a single playthrough. This is probably the trophy I'll save for last because it's an easy trophy to save for last. Just stick a zombie with 4 different objects. And this is the hidden combo card, which people told me what it was. It's like nectar and a queen, so the mixed drink plus a queen. So yeah, made pretty good progress on Dead Rising 2. I'm not mad about that at all. I'm just mad about how that second poker game was treating me, because like I said, I got through the high stakes poker game in 2 tries, which is like a record for me. I've never done it that quickly. But then the second poker game, the strip poker game in the safe house, I should have won. I had like $400,000 total, but one girl literally had about 10 different pieces of clothing, and it was like every single thing was an individual piece of clothing that counted, so every time you knocked her out, she would just come right back. And then the game just completely screwed me over with terrible cards after terrible cards after terrible cards. and at least one time where I had something like an 80% chance to win, and it just randomly gave it to her. So we're going to go ahead and sync up trophies. By the way, this is what I have to go through now whenever I try to sync up trophies. So with that, level 857, 28% of the way through it, 27,646 total trophies, 787 platinums, 5,204 golds, 7,406 silvers, 14,249 bronzes. So what are my plans for the upcoming week? Well, I definitely want to finish off Word Search, which, like I said, there's only something like 72 puzzles left, so I should be able to knock that out probably in 1 to 2 more days of playing it. Dead Rising 2, I definitely want to finish my first playthrough of the game, but we're definitely not anywhere near getting the Platinum Trophy done on that. That's going to take at least 3 more full playthroughs after, because you got to do a co-op playthrough of the whole thing. You got to do the 72,000 zombie kills in a playthrough, which I probably will stream that, by the way. You got to do that, and you got to do all of those other miscellaneous trophies that just takes a lot of time to get through. So it'll be at least a few more weeks till Dead Rising 2 is done, but it'll be a very proud early 2024 Platinum to have done. So along with those, I don't know if there's anything else I'm going to start this week. Maybe knock out one other easy Platinum somewhere if I feel like it. I don't know yet though. But this week I do have other big plans. I'm actually going to be headed home on Thursday because Lizard Guy is home before he makes his big move down to another state. Remember, he's in the military, so he's finally getting transferred to somewhere a little bit closer to North Carolina. But he's going to be coming home. He's home for a week right now, and we're going to hang out Thursday through Saturday. And now that my family actually has good internet, we are going to be able to do at least one, hopefully 2, maybe even 3 different live streams during that time. I don't know yet what we're going to play on those streams. We'll just probably find random stuff to play. I don't really know yet, but we'll figure it out when it happens. I'm going to bring both my Switch and my PS5 home, so we will find stuff to play, though, and that should be a lot of fun. Just drink, hang out, have a lot of fun playing just very random games, probably, because the longest live stream I ever did was almost 6 hours long, and it was me and him live streaming in winter of 2019 or something, or 2018 even. So it was a super, super long stream of just playing random multiplayer stuff, and it was a lot of fun. So that's what I'm planning on doing later on this week. And then actually me, him, and 2 of our other friends are going to hang out in the very end of March. We're actually going to go to Vegas for a bachelor party, and that's going to be a blast. I might vlog a little bit of that as well and just do that on the second channel because I am working toward getting a second channel going. I got to decide if I want to keep the name I gave it, and then I also have to somehow get, some artwork or something done, at least a profile picture done. So I got to figure out exactly what I want to do for all of that. But I'm definitely excited for that because that's where future vlogging and cooking videos and other real life stuff are going to go. But speaking of other videos that went up, of course, the Fallout Georgia video went up on Sunday, so I hope it does as well as the North Carolina, South Carolina video. I'm confident that it can do pretty well. And then along with that, the last vlog that I'm doing on my main channel did go up about a week ago, so that's all done. No more jumping around between content after that. So the next thing for me to work on that's a bigger project is, of course, the Destroy All Humans 2 single-player trophy video, which it's going to take me a little while to put that together because I honestly keep forgetting that I even did that as a full series because it was really not all that interesting overall because I'd already done it once on the PS5 version. This was the downgraded version. So yeah, that'll be the next one. Then there's Bugsnax, and then the Dead Rising games will come up after that. So yeah, that's basically it for this week. That's everything I really need to bring up for the upcoming couple of weeks. Hopefully we get that Spider-Man 2 DLC fairly soon so I can just go back and knock it out quickly. And I'll keep working on my Fallout 76 guide with that other guy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, consider leaving a like and subscribing and ringing the bell if you haven't done so already. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you've been working on this past week. And I will see y'all later on this week for several streams. Hopefully, me and Lizard Guy streaming a couple of times, maybe even 3 times. We'll have to see. So, see you guys then.